toll as the throat cross the road. There's a witch eating souls. There's a dish being filled, and my leg froze. Yeah, it still has a cause, but I'll always love when you purr. September rains when I can't feel a thing, but my God, I love when you purr. People are mean, but that's part of the scene, and I say what I mean, but it's...
Hey everybody, welcome back to my wellness journey. My name is Aaron, and we're going to talk today about finding places to sleep when you're a van lifer. It's not as easy as you might think it's going to be. When I first hit the road, I thought, oh, it shouldn't be that big a deal. It's not big a problem. Very first place I went when I really hit the road full time was Monterey. And you cannot park overnight in Monterey. And I soon discovered a lot of areas do not allow overnight parking. It's really getting harder and harder. A lot more places are passing ordinances, to not allow overnight parking in town. Walmarts, Costco's, Home Depot's, grocery stores used to be great places to park. Almost all of them allow RVers and van lifers to park there. My parents were full-time RVers. They started doing like 20 years ago. They did it for about a decade, and they were always staying at like Walmart or Costco or a grocery store or Cracker Barrel, and they never had a problem. But nowadays, it's getting a lot harder. I think because a lot more people are getting involved in this lifestyle, and unfortunately, they're kind of being dicks. For me personally, I think that's the big thing. They're kind of being dicks. They're leaving garbage around, dumping their waste outside. If you allow someone to park somewhere overnight, there are people they live there. I spent some time I lived in San Luis Obispo area for a long time, and when I first started van life, I spent some time there, living in the area, and the only place in San Luis Obispo County I could find that legally allowed me to park there was a Home Depot in a Atascadero. The entire county had an ordinance, no overnight parking anywhere on streets in the county. There are a few, but again, there's a few places like Home Depot. It's private property, they can do what they want. And so Home Depot, that was the only place I found in that whole area that legally allowed you to stay there. There's BLM land nearby, but for me, I had a job. I didn't want to travel too far away to get to the BLM land and stay there. I did a couple times, it was nice, but for the most part, I had to be near where I worked. So, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know there was one night I woke up with a ticket, $200 ticket on my window. Kind of pissed me off. They could have just knocked and said move, and I would have moved. But they decided to give everyone on that street a ticket. Long story short was there was one street in this little town where they allowed people to park. And then I guess they changed their mind, decided we couldn't park there anymore. But instead of giving us a warning, they just came through at 2 o'clock in the morning and just gave everyone tickets, which really, really sucked. The only other time I've gotten the knock, one time I've gotten the knock, and that was in Pismo Beach. And I found a spot where a lot of people seem to be parking overnight, so I parked there. I was there maybe 3-4 nights a week. I was there about 2 months, and I finally got the knock. So a lot of areas, too, there's spots where technically you're not supposed to park. They won't worry about it. They might come through once a month or every other week and just give you the knock. Take off for a while. If you come back, it probably won't be a big deal. They'll just give you a knock again. I don't know. I got the knock. I never went back. I found a different place to park. So you never know. I mean, don't take my word on that. Whether or not they will or will not. I could have gone back a month later and they probably gave me a ticket. But I do have 5 tips on finding a good place to sleep at night that makes you comfortable. Because if you're like me, I have a hard time sleeping. Even in my bed, at home, same place every night. I felt secure and comfortable. I'm a very light sleeper. Sleeping in a van is even harder because you're not in the same spot every single night. Cars drive by, people walk by, you never know what's going to happen. I get people all the time driving by honking their horn just or playing loud music just to be jerks because they can. So if you're like me, you have difficulty sleeping, you want to feel comfortable, at least feel comfortable where you are. Don't have the worry of getting the knock, don't have the worry of people harassing you, anyone harassing you really. So the more you can avoid that, the better off you'll be. So number one, iOverlander. It's an app. It's a great app. I've been using it since day one. I'd say about 90% of the places I have slept, I found on iOverlander. And it's great because it'll tell you can find established campgrounds. You can find places to dump your tanks if you have tanks to dump. Stores or street parking that allow parking there. They'll say where you're not allowed to park. You can go there and you'll find like the little symbol for street parking. If it's gray, that means it's closed. And so you go, okay, well, I'm not going to park in that spot. Or even if it's not gray, it could be green. They'll say we have not been able to verify if you can park here or not. But read the reviews. You'll find a spot, read the reviews. Ideally, don't stay in a spot where the last review was, in my opinion, more than a year old. If it's more than a year old, tons of things could have changed. Someone a year ago go, oh, it's great here, no problem. We can park here overnight, no one bothers us. But in that year, they may have passed an ordinance, or something may have happened in that area. People may be living there nearby that don't want you there, or they might just be like homeless people. Homeless encampment may have popped up there. And I'm not saying anything bad about homeless people. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but sometimes I've had run-ins with a few that aren't very nice people, and I did not want to sleep near them. So always read those reviews. If you find a review within a month, that's best. If someone's been there very recently and they go, oh, it's great, it's quiet, no one's going to bug you, go for it. On the flip side, if you find a spot on your own that's great and you, wow, this is awesome, I wish I'd known about this, and you want to share it, you could actually add a spot on the app. You're going to add in, put your own review down, say I had service with Verizon, there's no water nearby, it's just street parking. I actually added a campground. When I was driving through Oregon, the storms hit, and I'm like, I can't stay on the roads like this, and I found a campground. And it was a really nice little campground, really cheap. It's like $30 a night. It was raining, so I didn't actually get to enjoy the campground, like making a fire or anything like that. But it was a safe place to park. I had good service. I could stream movies if I wanted to. It wasn't that far away from a grocery store, so I added it onto iOverlander. It's like, people in the area using iOverlander, they'll now see there's a campground near there. So hopefully that'll help drum up more business for that guy. He was a really nice guy. It was a great little campground. Again, so use iOverlander, look at the reviews, read the reviews, and make a educated decision on where you want to go, where you want to sleep. And that's, in my opinion, that's one of the best ways to find a place to sleep. Number two, and I never really thought about doing this until I actually got to the Mendocino area, go to the police department. Just find the local police station or sheriff's department, walk in and go, hey, how you doing? My name's Aaron. I'm a full-time van lifer. I live in my van. What are your rules regarding parking on the street? Can I park anywhere? Are there places I can't park? What's the general rule here? And so here in Fort Bragg, I went in and they said, as long as you're not parked in the same spot for more than 72 hours, we don't care. And just obey the signs. Don't park in a parking lot if it says no overnight parking. Don't park on the street if it says no parking for these. I think downtown Fort Bragg has 2-hour parking during the day, and then no parking between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. Things like that. So just be aware of those. There are so many places in Fort Bragg I park, and I'll be there for 3 or 4 days. I mean, I don't say they're I don't say they're straight. I drive around, go to work, I go to shopping, go to shopping at the grocery store. I'm not a shopper. As you can probably tell if you pay attention to my wardrobe, I have probably the same 3 or 4 shirts I wear all the time. And this hat, I've had this for 15 years, I think now. This hat is so old, but I love it. It's comfortable. I don't even follow baseball. I don't even follow the Phillies. It's just a great hat. It's very comfy, and that's why I wear it. But I mean, okay, sorry, I went off on a tangent there. But yeah, just check in, see what the laws are, and they may say, you know what, we don't allow it here at all, or they may be like, it's not really allowed in the county, but there are here and here and here. We'll let you park. Just behave yourself. Don't make noise. Whatever. Don't dump your garbage. Don't dump your waste. Things like that. Just go and talk to them. Ask them. They're not gonna. And if they're jerks to you, fine. Go somewhere else. Who cares? Like, we don't want you here. Don't park in the street. Okay, great. Thanks for your time. Book it. Find somewhere else to go. So at least, the very least, you know for sure from the police standpoint what they're going to do. So here I feel very safe, very secure from the police. I know that as long as I'm not here in one spot for more than 72 hours straight, they're not going to do anything. The most they'll do is they told me they'll give me a warning. They'll put a warning on my van or knock and say, you've been here for 72 hours straight, you need to move. That's actually a really, really good thing to do, is just check in with the local police department, see what the rules are, see what the policies are, and see what they're going to do. They may be like, you know what, it's not really allowed here, but we don't care. Or they may go, there's no law against it, but we don't want it, and we'll tell you to move. And they can if they want to. So just don't be a jerk. Don't pull out, I'm a sovereign citizen bullshit. There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. You're not a sovereign citizen. You have to follow the laws like everybody else. So don't pull it, I'm a sovereign citizen crap with them. And if you do, record it and put it online so I can laugh at you, because that would be great. Anyway, but I digress. 2 tangents in one little. Wow, I'm getting better at this. Number 3, always listen to your gut. Always. If you go on iOverlander, it says this, you can park here, it's perfectly safe. If you talk to the cops and you're like, hey, is it legal? Absolutely, we're not going to bug you. If everything is above board and you can park there and you know it's legal and people say it's safe and you park there, if you're feeling uncomfortable, move. Doesn't matter. If you're paranoid like I am, I'm kind of paranoid. But I've been parked in spots where I'm like, I know it's legal. I don't have a problem with parking here, but something just is rubbing me the wrong way. Move. Listen to your gut every single time. Because I promise you, maybe nothing is wrong 30 times in a row, but that 31st time, you don't listen to your gut, something may happen. There might be crazy people near you. There might be just noise. I was parked in a spot where I knew it was legal to park, but it was right where the road turned. Like there's like a turn right there. And for some reason, I just had this image in my mind of someone at night not driving safely and going off the road and hitting me. And it was some dumb paranoia I had. It was never going to happen. And it's highly unlikely that would have happened, but I still had that fear, and which meant I couldn't sleep. And if for any other reason, listen to your gut so that you feel comfortable and you can sleep at night, because that is the most important thing you've got to deal with. You've got to sleep at night. If you're not sleeping, if you're tired, it's unhealthy for you. You're not going to be driving safely. Yeah. So just do that. Listen to your gut. You can't go wrong, in my opinion. Again, obey signs. If you're not able to go to the cops, if you're just traveling through a town and you show up at night, whatever, or you don't want to look for the police station, just look at signs. Make sure they're, typically if there's no parking allowed, there will be signs saying no overnight parking anywhere in this town, or no parking on this street, or no parking between these times. They'll tell you. There will most likely be signs. There may not be signs some places, but in my experience, I've been doing this for almost 2 years now. There are signs. They will tell you, don't park here. We don't allow it. So just pay attention to those. And they may not put them up like right along this road here, every 30 feet, there's a sign saying no overnight parking. There's a ton of signs here saying that. But other places, the no parking signs may be like every other block or every intersection, every major intersection, because they don't want it to clog up the street with signs. So if you see a street like, oh, so it's a nice little street, take a little cruise up, just up and down the block, intersection, make sure there's no signs there. If you see other van lifers there, that's usually a good sign, but then again, maybe not. They may not be paying attention. Don't assume that because you see another van or a small RV parked on the road that it's totally okay, because they may not know. Don't assume that someone else knows what they're doing, because they probably don't. They may know as little or less than you do. If you're staying in a parking lot, like Home Depot or Walmart, anyone like that, even if there aren't signs saying don't do it, even if iOverlander says you can totally park here, it's fine. I always recommend walking inside and saying, hey, ask for a manager or a supervisor. Say, can I talk to someone in charge? And be like, hey, I'm a van lifer, I'm passing through, or I'm going to be here for a couple of weeks. Can I park in your lot overnight? I'll park on the edge. I won't be in the way. I'll leave during the day, whatever you guys want, whatever makes you feel better. Ask permission. Because if you don't, you never know. Or if like security knocks on your window, you can go, hey, I talked to John, and John said I could park here. So John's the manager, security knows who John is. You tell him John said I could park here. Odds are they'll be like, okay, cool, no problem, or they may not. But again, it never hurts. Ask someone permission. I used to work at Albertsons. I was a customer service clerk at Albertsons. And all the time people would call and go, hey, or come in and go, hey, can I park in the lot? And I would say the same thing. We don't care. The store itself doesn't care. We're not going to call anyone. But the parking lot is not our property. So you may get a call. You may get a knock in the morning. The cops may knock on your window at 2 in the morning. When I started van life, I wasn't working at Albertsons anymore, but I was in the area. And I spent one night there, no problems. A few weeks later, I was parked in the same parking lot, in a different spot. I woke up in the morning, there was a note on my car saying, overnight parking here is not allowed. Even though I saw other people who were clearly been parking there, and I noticed them, they've been there for a few days, they've been there quite often. Maybe they're ignoring the warnings, or maybe they just take the ticket, I don't know. But I did get a warning, so I never went back. So that's my 5 tips on finding a safe place to park, to sleep for the night. Another thing too, I think I mentioned this before in another video. Don't obsess over it. Don't waste time obsessing over where you're gonna park. That was a big mistake I made when I first started van life. I went to so many places and I was more obsessed over where I was gonna sleep than actually enjoying where I was. Seeing the sights and enjoying the town. And I found myself like, oh, okay, well, I'll go here if I can park there for the night. Don't stress about it. Seriously, don't. I mean, you want to go somewhere? If you're in California, you want to go visit Monterey, go to Monterey. Park, walk around, enjoy the town, go to the beach, enjoy everything that beautiful town has to offer you. And nighttime comes around to park, you've got time to figure it out. Figure out where you're going to go. If don't wait till like 10 o'clock at night and you got to drive 3 hours to get somewhere. You might want to be a little bit aware of where you're going to be. But for the most part, don't stress on it. Don't obsess over it. Just figure it out. And the more you do this, the easier it'll get, the more comfortable you'll be parking places. So if you haven't started van life yet, or if you're brand new, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult to find the places to park. It's going to be difficult feeling comfortable in there. This lifestyle takes a bit of getting used to. But once you do, I love doing this. I feel as comfortable in this van for the most part as I ever did in an apartment or home. Yes, I have a lot less room. Yes, I don't have a bathroom. I don't have a shower. I don't have an oven or my coffee pot. I don't have the creature comforts that I would normally had in a home, in this van. But I don't care. It's fine. I've gotten used to it. So, and I love this lifestyle. Anyway, I hope that helped you guys out. Give some good ideas. If you have any other ideas that I didn't put, please leave them in the comments. If you're a van lifer, you've been doing this for a while, and you have a couple ideas, let me know. Put them down in the comments. If I get enough ideas, I'll make a part 2 to this. So. Again, if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps me out. It helps me grow. As of filming this, I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers, which is really, really awesome. Like the video. If you have anything you want to say, put a comment. All of that helps me grow, helps me move up in the algorithm, and helps me grow. If you want to help me out in my journeys, you can also become a Patreon member. $4 a month or $8 a month gives you early access to videos and exclusive content. I've been falling a bit behind lately in making exclusive content for Patreon, but I have plans on doing a lot more of that. So you guys will get to you'll get to know things about me that no one else knows, because I'm not going to put that on YouTube. So. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your time, and thanks for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys so much for joining me on my journey. So be well.